Good morning. Today, we are not talking about technology. We are not talking about economics. We are talking about something far more powerful: technoconomics. Technoconomics means understanding how technology reshapes economics, not incrementally, not slowly, but fundamentally. Entire cost structures, entire industries, entire value chains get rewritten. What does disruptive technology really mean? Disruption is not improvement. It is not optimization. It is replacement. It is when a new system makes the old system irrelevant. Let me structure this for you. Disruption always follows three forces. First, exponential improvement. Second, cost collapse. Third, market expansion. Exponential improvement means the technology becomes better very fast, not 10% per year, sometimes 10x in a few years. AI is exactly that. Cost collapse means what used to be expensive becomes nearly free. Think about computing power. Think about data storage. Now think about intelligence itself becoming scalable. And market expansion means once costs drop, entirely new markets emerge. Robo-taxis are not just replacing taxis, they create a global mobility platform.
Mr. Professor, that sounds logical, but it also sounds overwhelming. How do I even start thinking about this?
You simplify. You always simplify. You ask, where is the value moving? Let me give you examples. Think about Tesla. Most people still think Tesla is a car company. That is the biggest misunderstanding. Tesla is building a data-driven AI platform on wheels. With autonomous driving, the value shifts from manufacturing to software. A traditional car has margins of maybe 20%. A software-driven mobility platform can have margins of 70% or even 80%. And then comes the second layer: robo-taxis. No driver, continuous utilization, global scaling. Suddenly, the same asset generates multiple times the revenue. And then the third layer: robotics. The same AI system used in cars can be used in humanoid robots. Now you are not just disrupting transportation, you are disrupting labor.
So Tesla is not one business, it is multiple exponential businesses stacked together?
Exactly. That is technoconomics thinking. Now, let us move to Nvidia. Nvidia did not start as an AI company. It started as a gaming company. But they built something critical: parallel computing. When AI models emerged, Nvidia was ready. Their chips became the infrastructure of intelligence. Every AI model, every training process, every inference step depends on that infrastructure. So Nvidia is not selling chips, it is selling access to compute power for the AI economy.
That means they are like the electricity provider of AI.
Yes, very good analogy. Exactly. And electricity providers historically have been very powerful positions. Now, let us talk about Palantir. This is where many people underestimate disruption. Palantir does not just analyze data, it integrates data, workflows, and decision-making into one system. Traditional companies make decisions slowly: reports, meetings, delays. Palantir enables real-time decision-making. This is not just efficiency, this is a new operating system for organizations.
So instead of humans interpreting data, the system suggests actions directly.
Yes, and that changes how companies operate at their core. Now, let us go into healthcare. Companies like CRISPR and Beam Therapeutics. For centuries, medicine treated symptoms. Now we're moving to editing the root cause, DNA. With AI, gene editing becomes faster, more precise, and scalable. If successful, this does not just improve healthcare, it redefines it.
That sounds almost like science fiction.
Yes, and that's exactly where disruption starts. What looks like science fiction becomes reality faster than expected. Now, let us move to another domain: media and distribution. Companies like Roku are not just streaming platforms, they aim to control the operating system of television. Advertising dollars are shifting from linear TV to connected TV. Whoever controls the interface controls the revenue. This is a classic technoconomics shift. Control the platform, control the economics.
So it's always about positioning in the value chain.
Exactly. Always ask, who captures the value? Now, let us zoom out. We are entering a phase where technologically enabled disruptive innovation compounds at very high rates. Some companies may grow 40 to 50% per year. At that rate, companies can multiply several times within a few years. At the same time, traditional companies may stagnate or decline because they are not built for exponential change.
So the market is splitting into two worlds?
Yes, the innovation world and the traditional world. The innovation world is driven by AI, data, and scalability. The traditional world is driven by legacy systems, linear growth, and fixed structures.
But, Mr. Professor, this still feels risky. What if these companies fail?
That is the right question. Disruption always comes with uncertainty. Not every company succeeds. But technoconomics is not about certainty. It's about probability and direction. You identify where the world is going. Then you align with that direction.
So it's more about being in the right wave than picking the perfect company.
Exactly. Very well said. Now, let us briefly look at financial infrastructure. Companies like Coinbase or Robinhood are positioning themselves in digital finance ecosystems. And Bitcoin represents a new layer of financial, a decentralized system that could scale globally. Some projections suggest massive upside potential, driven by adoption and macroeconomic shifts. So even finance is being disrupted by technology? Yes, finance, healthcare, transportation, media, every sector. That is why we say disruption will impact every industry, every sub-industry.
I think I start to understand. Technoconomics is about seeing these shifts early.
Yes.
And then aligning investments, career choices, and decisions accordingly.
Exactly.
So if I understand technoconomics, I'm not just investing better, I'm thinking differently.
Yes, you are thinking in systems, in exponential curves, in value shifts.
Thank you, Mr. Professor. I understand now the technoconomics of the industry.
Good, because here is the final insight. The world is no longer linear, it is exponential. What is correct today may not be correct tomorrow. Entire industries can emerge or disappear within a few years. If you understand technoconomics, you gain an advantage. You win in investments because you see growth before it is obvious. You win in your career because you position yourself in the right domains. You win in product decisions because you understand where value is going. Technoconomics is not just a concept, it's a framework to understand the future. And if you understand the future before others do, you win.